Hey, thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by One Equine for the equine athlete. And we've got a good night coming up at Albion Park this Saturday night. 9 races. It's the Nutrien Sunshine Stars race night. A host of features, good prize money up for grabs, and plenty of good talent stepping out onto the track as well. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to catch up with Adam Sanderson and Jonah Hutchinson. Adam Sanderson joins us to go through his drives on Saturday night. He's got some pretty handy drives as well. Adam, as always, appreciate the time.
Pleasure's all mine, Chris.
Throw your arms around me in race number 1. That's your first drive. Drawn 2 off the second row. He's going really well. What sort of chance do you give him here on the weekend?
Yeah, he's a good chance. He's racing, as you say, he's racing terrific. So looks like a good trailing draw and quite an even bunch. So I reckon he's definitely one of the ones to beat.
His last start second came behind Haranya, a horse that's in really good form. You meet him again here. He's drawn gate 1. You've got to overcome this second row draw. But there might be a fair bit of power early. Is that what you're hoping for here? You just need that really strong early pressure?
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a couple there that'll take a shot. I don't think Haranya's brilliant off the gate. So I'm sure there's a couple there that'll take a shot. And if we've got to work around, we can. If the speed's on, then we sit back and he's versatile enough. But I think Haranya's hard to beat. Obviously, he got the measure of us last time, but we're definitely better for the run, and he, as I say, he's going to be hard to beat.
He's still fairly lightly raced, this guy, throw your arms around me, so I'm sure he's still getting used to the style of racing that we have here in Queensland. Do you have a preference with him, a mile or 21? Doesn't really matter.
No, 21 probably suits him a little bit better. He's as you say, he's lightly racing and quite a big dummy. As I say, he's getting used to our style of racing, but he come over on such a hard mark that he's had to take on all these decent horses at as I say, only 30 odd starts. So he's definitely still learning, and he's one to follow even in 6 months' time.
Okay, let's go to race 2. You're driving Alta Sensation again for Ian Gurney here. Donegal Luther looks the obvious. When you look through his form card, it reads really impressively, taking on the likes of Swayze, Leap to Fame, and then last week in the Queensland Cup against Black Sedan. So he's going to be the horse to beat. But with your guy Alta Sensation, could he be a chance of getting to the front here early?
Yeah, I think so. He does have pretty decent gate speed, so we'll take a shot at crossing early, and if we hand up, we hand up. If not, he's not the worst to be in front. So Donegal Luther looks like obviously a greater certainty, but they're all beatable, and we'll be doing our best.
All right, that being said then, if you find the front here, whether you hold or hand up, you look at genuine top 4 chance.
Yeah, definitely. If he brings his A game, he's top 4, top 3, top 2, and even a winning chance. But you just don't know what you get. But he's had a good week training, and he should be sharp. So as I say, hopefully, if our best chance if we can shoot across and play our cards from there.
Okay, how do you grade those past 3 efforts though?
Last week was better, but still, or 2 weeks ago was better, but still, he's bordering on, getting to his last chance. But as I say, he's trained good this week, so hopefully, you'll see the best of him.
All right, fingers crossed there. Race 4, the first of our features. This one for the 2-year-old colts and geldings. Big prize money up for grabs here. You're driving Race for Riches for Grant and Trista Dixon. So anytime you're driving one of their horses in a feature race, they've got to be respected. You probably need a little bit of luck here. How do you sort of assess Race for Riches?
Yeah, actually, a sneaky good chance. I think probably his odds don't reflect just how good he's going. I think he ran 9th last start, but his sectionals were terrific, and I thought as I say, it was 9th, but it was a top tier run. So hopefully he gets a good cart through, and as I say, I'll give him a real good sneaky chance.
Okay, so you rate this guy. You think he's going to develop into a more than handy type?
Yeah, as another one, just a big dummy. Obviously, he's only had a couple of starts, but what he produced last week, I think it's quite an even lot. So it just depends how the race pans out. But as I say, definite chance.
Okay, and it's an interesting race. My Alderman Felix draws 1, and then you've got the other major players out in 5, 6, and 7. So they all need that little bit of luck. So anything could happen here by the look of it.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing sort of stood out that really put their hand up to say, they're a standout. So there might be a few that chance their arm and might play into our hands, hopefully.
Okay. Race number 5. This is the Band 4, Band 2. You're driving Boots Electric. He was a winner 2 starts ago. The draw's not kind here, the outside of the field of 6, and you've got all that power drawn to your inside. So what are the expectations with Boots Electric?
No, it's probably the same as last week. We're probably going to be single file and running a decent mile, and it's going to be probably near impossible to get into it, unfortunately. So he'll just go back and hopefully, run into a top 4 chance.
Okay, Captain Shuffle's clearly the horse to beat.
Yeah, definitely looks like getting an easy lead, and the one will sit on his back, and it went really well last week. So they look the two obvious ones.
Okay, race 6. This is the 2-year-old fillies final. You're driving Harlequin. You've driven Cool and Classy, and she's all the rage here. She's the clear favourite. She's an outstanding filly. Harlequin, is she a genuine top 3 chance in your opinion?
Probably top 4, I'd say. She might be able to sneak into 4. She had a chance to sort of run 3rd last week and just struggled that last little bit. There's obviously those ones got a little bit more class on her, but she tries, and she's probably better than a few of them. So hopefully we just get a good run there, and she can get a top 4 chance.
Okay, if you were drawn barrier 1 rather than 2, would that make you a little bit more confident of being a genuine top 4 chance?
Yeah, for sure. The pigs look probably going to be the place to be, but in saying that, she's not going to be close to the speed. Obviously Ruby Rules goes good, and Cool and Classy just probably way too good for us, unfortunately. But if we can roll into 4, we'll be more than a pass mark.
Are you surprised that Harlequin hasn't been able to win a race in Queensland so far?
Yeah, I thought she could win sort of one time, and she sort of let me down a little bit. But she is what she is. She's sort of come here and raced quite some decent fields so far. So once she gets back to a nice maiden field, I'm sure she'll pick one up.
Okay, and race number 7. This is the race for yearlings that cost less than $25,000. It's an interesting little field. The big 3 here are Got the Glow, Leave It to Lucy, and Miss Crunchy. But I thought your guy was really good last week, Ultimate Arc. He's drawn 2 off the second row, directly behind Leave It to Lucy. How do you rate his chances?
Yeah, terrific chance. He was awesome last week. Unfortunately, got wiped out at the start, and that sort of put pay to his chances, and the top 3 sort of shot clear, but he was the one charging out of the pack, and if he can settle, obviously hopefully we settle a lot closer, and we'll be in the finish, that's for sure.
The start's going to be interesting here, and again you're hoping that they sort of overdo it a little bit, because if they do, brings you right into this race, and I think he's good enough if conditions are made to order for you that you could actually win it.
Yeah, I think he can win it for sure. The problem is he's sort of not the most tractable horse, and obviously what happened last week wasn't his fault, but whether it's just ended his confidence a little bit. But on sheer ability, he can definitely win this. Okay,
so which runner are you most looking forward to on Saturday night?
Obviously, I think Throw Your Arms Around Me can win, but as I say, that sneaky chance, Race for Riches, obviously racing for good money, and hopefully that race pans out and we can have the closing shot on that race.
Okay, race 4, number 9, Race for Riches. As always, Adam, really appreciate the time. Best of luck on the weekend.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
Jonah Hutchinson jumps in the hot seat now to go through his runners and drives on the weekend. He's with us now. Jonah, appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me on, Chris.
Race 1, we start with number 2, Obi Legal. Now, would I be right in saying this is your first time sitting behind this guy?
I believe it is. I can't remember driving him, but I know the horse has been racing really well, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, now he is a terrific chance in this race. Importantly, draws well. He's a high gate speed horse, and it's only a mile. So confidence levels, must be high for this race on the weekend.
Yeah, looking at it on paper, I think it's a bit of a step back. He's been racing in sort of those open classes and those band 4 to band 2, so he finally finds himself in a band 5 again, so that should hopefully help him also.
Okay, the most obvious question, can he clear Haranya? Do you think he's got enough speed to clear the one horse?
I think he might be able to, but it'll be up to connections, what we do at the start. I just want to keep them happy and make sure they're all good with everything that I do.
Okay, he doesn't have to lead to win, and he's obviously a horse that can follow a target really well, so you've got plenty of options from this draw.
Yeah, definitely. He's such a versatile horse, so whatever connections come up with, I'll be happy with.
Okay, when you look at this race on paper, there's no standout. There's a few here that you can make, good cases for.
Yeah, definitely, and I think OB Legal would probably be my pick just because of his draw and step back in grade. There's obviously other horses that are in form, but he's stepping back so far compared to what he's been versing, so I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so hopefully we'll start the night with a win there with OB Legal. Let's go across to a few of your own runners going around at this meeting on Saturday night. The first one comes up as My Alderman Carter there in race 5. Now this guy's chasing a hat-trick. He's been really good of late, so
the obvious question, what were the expectations? Obviously, you're always expecting your horses to do well, but what were you hoping for when you purchased this guy?
Yeah, look, I was just after a metro horse that I can punch around on a Saturday night, whether it had just been in the band fives, but he sort of exceeded expectations, and now that he's stepping up, I still don't think he's out of it. Like, if he puts his best foot forward on Saturday night, and there's obviously going to be a high tempo race with the two, he can definitely be brought into the race.
When you first got him, did he take a little bit of sorting out, or was it just one of those sort of transition periods going from a different location to the style of racing that we've got here? So when he first arrived, did it take a little bit of sorting out?
Yeah, to be honest, I think I still am sorting him out. He has a little few quirks that I've been tinkering with, and gear changes here and there. I'm sure you would have seen every Saturday night he probably had a gear change on him, but the last two Saturdays we've sort of stuck with the gear he's had, and he's been well. He's still hanging a little bit more than I would like, so I think if I can straighten him up, he's even going to find another couple more seconds in himself.
So if you're still sorting him out, are you confident on what his best racing pattern is? Do you think he's best in front or chasing down a target?
I think he's a really high speed, even speed sort of horse, so I think a more forward position for him is best racing style. This Saturday night he'll be driven a bit more conservative, but I think once I get him sorted, he's a type of horse that'll be nice, big and strong. He's already shown that he can sit in the chair and run nice times, so it'll just be getting him to his best and doing everything right, and then we'll see what he's got.
Okay, with this race on Saturday night, Captain Shuffle's drawn 2, most expecting him to lead this race. Do you think it's going to be a fast run race?
I really think so. I think the 2 will find the front. It just depends how much the 1 wants to stretch him out. But even if the 1 doesn't stretch him out, I think it'll still be a high tempo race, and hopefully he goes a little bit too hard, which can bring my fella into it late. If the race doesn't quite go as hard, it might be a bit hard to come around him.
Okay, now we're going to work backwards here. I jumped ahead of myself, going straight to my Alderman Carter. What about She's Notorious back in race 3? A mare that's going well. She's back at a mile here on Saturday night. Do you give her some sort of hope here?
I really do. She's racing in well form. Like, her last start, the number might not look good, but I thought she hit the line terrific. She just ended up back buried in the fence, and when she got out, she really let down. And she's got Paige on her this week, and I think she goes a lot better for Paige, especially the way that she lets down. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how she goes with Paige up behind her.
All right, she's got brilliant early speed. In saying that, there's a few that are drawn to her inside that can hum along early. So what are the sort of likely tactics to be at the start here?
Yeah, look, with Paige driving her, I'd like her to be on a helmet, just because she can get a bit fierce out in front. But sometimes you don't really have a choice. She just comes out that well that you sort of just slot across and then end up looking for cover or leading. So it's just a play by ear with that horse, just because you don't know how revved up she's going to be on the night.
Okay, she's been a super horse for your stable, a very durable type, and she looks like she just thrives on racing. So the more she races, the better she seems.
Yeah, to be honest, like, I went through a period where she was racing really well, and I thought I might start racing her fortnightly or 3 weekly, and she actually started to race worse, and then I put her back onto weekly racing, and she started to race well again. So she just really likes to work and really gets after it, which I'm really happy with.
And you prefer it a mile compared to the 21?
I used to be honest. Last week was over to 2100, and as I said, she flew the line. It all depends on how much she fires up. If she fires up, obviously she's better over the mile, but if you can actually get her to calm, she can be better over to 2100, just because she does have a lethal sprint. It's just whether or not she burns herself up too much early.
Okay, and then we go across to race 6, one of the big features, the 2-year-old fillies race. You've got to drive here for Grant and Trista Dixon, 50 each way. Cool and classy is the obvious, and I think most are sort of playing for minor money here. But 50 each way, is it worth an each way ticket?
It might be. Like, look, it's going to be a complete outsider, but it's found the fence draw, so we're not going to have to do anything early, just punch the fence, and there might be gaps opening up and others do too much work where it can punch through and earn a nice little check. So it'll just depend on how the race runs and how much the others cop.
So this is probably the best possible draw for 50 each way?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I don't think it could have drawn any better unless it drew 1, but like, draw an 8, you're on a helmet straight away, and it's just going to be good for her. Just follow the fence and hit all the gaps.
Okay, so can we get a winner for Jonah Hutchinson, whether as a trainer or a driver on Saturday night?
I definitely think so. OB Legal, I'm really looking forward to him. And then my ultimate Carter, I'm looking forward to seeing how he steps up in the higher class, because he's racing super well. His sectionals have been awesome, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do against a harder class of horse.
All right, well, fingers crossed. Race 1, number 2, OB Legal, and then we go across to that open race, race 5, number 4, My Alderman Carter. Jonah, as always, really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Chris.
A big thanks to our 2 drivers giving up their time and insights ahead of the weekend. Adam Sanderson, Jonah Hutchinson. We wish them all the very best of luck. We've got 9 races. We kick off at 5:30 on Saturday night, looking for the best bet. In one of our features, I'm keen on race 7, horse 1, Got the Glow. Comes up with the all-important ace draw, and I think she's an improving filly, and I think this is a race well within her reach. I'm keen on her chances. Gate 1 in a juvenile race, Grant Dixon driving. I think it's a recipe for success. So Got the Glow is the best bet on the program. If you are gambling this weekend, please do so responsibly. We'll see you trackside at the Creek on Saturday night. Nutrien Sunshine Stars race night, first race just after 5:30.